We are live.
Hey, everybody, going 72 miles an hour down to see Lance.
Hold on a second. I did what I did last time. Hold on a second. Outing myself. All right, here we go.
Are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
All right, everybody, we're going 71 miles an hour down to see Lance. The Oscars just ended a couple hours ago. We'll talk about the Oscars. Lance's dad got nominated for Oscars, won an Oscar.
President Z is on board.
President Z?
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
He's been waiting for us.
Okay, hey. First we're going to get chicken at Popeyes. We do that every night. The Laurel Canyon Popeyes they run out of chicken early, so we got to go to the Torrance Popeyes. So we're going to talk about Oscars and diversity and how liberal the Oscars are. You know, with Brad Pitt talking to, saying he got to talk longer than John Bolton got to talk to the Senate. Joaquin Phoenix denounced what we do to cows. I think it's fine that the Oscars are liberal. I think, I've worked in entertainment for a long time, and most people in entertainment. Oh fuck! What was that? Jesus Christ! Fucking damn!
What?
A car just totally crashed right behind us. Did you hear that?
I heard something. Yes.
We almost that car just crashed into the median and almost flipped, and we almost got taken out.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes. Jesus Christ.
Oh, did he flip? The car flipped
No,
around?
it went up the wall and then came back down. It didn't flip.
You mean it was on the other side?
It came screaming across lanes and thwapped into the wall right behind us.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. It was driving on this side over here?
Our side of the thing.
Uh-huh.
Must have come over a couple lanes. There was a and that was some shit.
Was it a blowout? Do you think he had a blowout?
Maybe. I felt something, though. I don't know if it was just a little nudge. I don't think he hit us, but it could have been. I don't know, but it went and then there was a whine and bam.
I heard it.
And then in my rearview mirror, anyway.
The car flipped?
No, it crawled up the wall. It was a big old SUV.
Oh, wow.
And it climbed 2-3 feet up the wall, but came back down.
Oh, my God. Did somebody hit it, you think?
I don't know. No, because I didn't hear a crash before the...
I just heard a thump.
Yeah. So I think somebody was out of control. All right, so...
Wow, man.
That's probably not that exciting it's like somebody describing a dream. If you don't see the fucking actual thing, it's not that. Anyway.
That's why, man, I always tell Rick, we have to really drive so defensive on the 405 because this is like a death trap, man.
Well, the 405 is one of the worst freeways in America.
See if you... Yeah.
All right, let's go back. I'm going to talk about diamonds. I did some research on lab-grown diamonds. I've been married now for about to have our 29th anniversary. And in the early days of luckily, I didn't have to pay for the engagement ring I gave to my wife. Because I was pretty broke. But my mom was married to my dad for 5 years, and after the divorce, she kept the ring. And so I got to give that, and it's gotten much more use. And my mom got out of it. I gave that to Carol, but I bought her diamonds a few times, and diamonds are freaking expensive. For decent ones, $5,000 to $8,000 to $10,000 a carat. And then for little ones, like I used to make jewelry for my wife because I was unemployed. I like making shit. And then jewelry has a huge markup, sometimes 1,000%. So if you make stuff yourself, you can end up making stuff that looks a lot more expensive than if you bought it in the store.
Real quick, Rick.
Yeah.
Our viewer, President Z, says that the Oscars don't appeal to him. He just doesn't. He's not into it.
I think the Oscars are well. We can ask him why in particular, but my wife we were sitting there watching him, and they're trying to hip him up. They had a guy rapped to go over what had already happened in the broadcast. For some reason, they had Eminem do a performance of his 1992 hit.
Yes.
Was it 1990? Really?
I don't know.
92? I don't know. Anyway, from at least 20 years ago. Everybody knew all the words in the live Oscar audience, but like, it's like, this isn't going to make 20-year-olds watch the show. Nobody 20 years old is watching the Oscars. And they still get a decent-sized audience, but its moment is over. The event TV is kind of over. At least it's so. I mean, it's a 3.5-hour show, and it doesn't, according to modern standards of entertainment, it probably doesn't have 3.5 hours of entertainment in it. You maybe 6 of the thank you speeches are entertaining. If you like musical numbers, maybe 2 or 3 of those will appeal to you. Some of the intros are funny, but all that boils down to maybe a half hour worth of entertainment. You've got the in memoriam reel. It's they're becoming. I think they're becoming kind of obsolete. But why does President Z not like him?
Well, President Z. Why don't you like the President Z? But let's see.
I mean, I think when people move towards information, people like to be entertained, and generally, it's stuff that gives you the most entertainment or most information per minute. It's the most entertaining, like a superhero movie. A lot of shit happens in a superhero movie.
Oops. I like entertainment, but I don't care what other people like. He also asked, what's the point of your existence and all of our existences, as it will eventually be lost, so why do we continue? Excuse me, shit.
I got a couple thoughts on that. I mean, the universe doesn't exist for our benefit. We do get benefits from the universe. We get to live for a while. We get to have pleasure. But yeah, it's a bummer that everybody dies. Everything comes to an end. There are some arguments I could make that I think things exist because the rules of existence aren't so tight that they prohibit or preclude any form of existence. Obviously things can exist because we exist. Some people like to argue that no, that existence is an illusion, but fuck that, we exist. And I think that there's an abstract kind of set of all possible worlds and moments that can exist, that aren't prohibited under the rules of existence. And I think, yeah, we come to an end, but at least there's this abstract meta-existence, and with the points of our life, the moments of our lives being included in the set of all possible moments. But that's kind of cold comfort. I think that we exist because the rules of existence tend to be biased towards order. orderly things. We're evolved creatures. We've evolved again across. Life on Earth has evolved for years, though for the first, I don't know, 1.5 billion, 2 billion years, life was really boring. There wasn't. It was the good stuff didn't come along until what, like 1 billion years in, 800 million years ago. I don't know. But anyway, we're the product of many hundreds of millions of years of evolution. So our shit works pretty good. It doesn't work great, I mean, we don't get everything we want from existence. We don't get to live for 500 years, though people born 50 years from now will probably get to live for 500 years if they want, because medical technology will continue to get better. But I think we exist because the rules of existence favor increasing order, and we're the products of billions of years of increasing order under evolution. Though when you talk about increasing order under evolution, you gotta issue all sorts of disclaimers, because you want to avoid something called teleology, which talks about what evolution wants. Evolution doesn't want anything. It's not a conscious force or a living force or anything. It's processes that have arisen through random action and then self-replicating action. But it doesn't mean that there's a push towards increasing complexity. Rather, there's species kind of wander into niches, into new ways of existence, or old ways of existence, if those are still the best ways to continue the existence of the species under evolution. But new species or modifications to species can make species work more complexly or more simply.
He wants to know if you could live indefinitely, would you?
Yeah, I want to. I'd love to. There are. I don't want to die. There are problems with living indefinitely, but I'd prefer having the problems of living indefinitely to definitely having to die.
Amazing.
Well, we have a lot of built-in complexity, but like in our genes, there's a lot of trash complexity. We use, I don't know, some crazy low percentage of the genes we have. I don't know, like 8% or something. And the other 92% are just genetic information we have, but that we don't activate anymore. Because the genes we use make proteins, and we're made out of proteins. But there are a lot of genes that we don't turn on, that don't tell our bodies to do stuff. They're just kind of sitting in our chromosomes, like books in a library that haven't been checked out since 1948. But that gives us more potential complexity compared to something that had from 150 billion years ago, that had a simpler genome, because it's a native lottery. We can have a genetic accident that will turn on some of our stuff that we haven't turned on in hundreds of thousands or millions of years.
He says, would you support... Oh, shit, hold on. Would you support human cloning to try to extend the lifespan of people? But
yeah,
I think we should answer that in our next live, because my battery's going to run out.
Okay. All right.
So you'll answer that. President Z will answer that on our live.
All right. Okay. See you in a sec.
Part 2.
We'll be on in about half an hour. Gotta go get chicken.
So, folks, Presidency, we'll see in a little bit. Folks, will be back at 11 o'clock, more or less. Bye. Get your questions ready.